Good day, viewers. Walter here. I begin today's vlog with a short video continuation of yesterday's vlog about a rain conspiracy, in which I mentioned a couple of old sayings that I remember that was passed down to me by my elders when I was a child. So let's stop here and listen to a short video clip, after which I will continue with my vlog on old sayings or adages. The conspiracy continues. It was sunny, but I knew to wait a little bit and see. Sure enough, an hour later it's pouring. Will the grass ever get dry enough to cut? Here it is another day, and the conspiracy continues. I can see my rain gutters clogged up. Need to do something about cleaning that out. This is a rebob. It continues. When I was a kid, they used to tell me when it thundered like that the Lord was up there moving his furniture around. Good excuse as any to tell a kid. How many of you remember sayings like that? What was another one? If it rains when the sun is shining, the devil is beating his wife. Where that originated, I don't know. But if you come outside and it's raining and the sun's shining, you can say the devil's beating his wife. I still got a lot of tree to cut out of the top of that crepe myrtle. Okay, viewers, it occurs to me that there are many old sayings or adages that do not immediately come to my forefront of my mind. So a short search of Google to simply refresh my memory, I quickly found a lot of old sayings, many of which are among those I often heard used. Here's a few sayings. It doesn't mount to a hill of beans. Oh my stars, as I live and breathe, give me some sugar. Goodness gracious, heavens to Betsy, well I Swanee, there's no accounting for taste. Birds of a feather flock together. There's more than one way to skin a cat. If it had been a snake, it would have bitten you. I've heard that one many a time. You're making a mountain out of a molehill. Heard that a lot of times. It doesn't cut the mustard. No, it wasn't very much used in my vocabulary. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Heard that plenty of times. Don't judge a book by its cover. Hear the cat's meow. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. Pretty is as pretty does. A trouble shared is a trouble halved. Home is where the heart is. Confession is good for the soul. Share and share alike. You're the bee's knees. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't take any wooden nickels. Don't buy a pig in a poke. You can't make a silk purse out of a sow's ear. Don't mistake endurance for hospitality. If you lie down with dogs, you'll get up with fleas. Don't put the cart before the horse. Don't count your chickens before they've hatched. Watch the pot never boils. Ducks spoil the brew. Beggars can't be choosers. This isn't my first rodeo. You're barking up the wrong tree. The apple never falls far from the tree. You're a day late and $1 short. It'll all come out in the wash. Well, I've heard that a lot of times. I'm thinking of one right offhand while I was reading those that comes to mind. Never look a gift horse in the mouth. Now that wasn't on the list that I just read. I just remembered that one. How many more out there that y'all might be able to add to our list? I will now list a few that I found on Google and will elaborate if they were among those buried in my memory, and 95% of them are buried way back in there. I've heard them many a time. I have often wondered if my ancestors and elders had thought up some of these witticisms themselves, but I now realize many were passed down to them the same way I learned them, by their ancestors and elders. I find it more likely that the sources of these old sayings can be tracked back to the publications such as Poor Richard's Almanac, which was a publication by Ben Franklin, published from 1732 to 1758, and possibly by other sources. One example would be Samuel Clemens. How many viewers out there in Cyberland have heard many of these same old sayings? In searching Google, I realized many publishers of old used pseudonyms when publishing their works. For example, Samuel Clemens was known as Mark Twain, Thomas Jefferson Snodgrass. Ben Franklin's pseudonym was Poor Richard, and Silence Dogood. I assure my viewers that it's just a coincidence that a pseudonym for Walter Parks is P. Pwalpar. Any old sayings that I use are likely taken from those passed down to me by my elders. I, however, am not without a few creations, such as the slogan, "If it's moving, video it." Or I'm sitting on a tailgate waiting for a train, so get out your camera and come on down. Hang out with me in Jackson Town. Actually, I think I left out part of that one. If you can recall any of these old sayings or some that I haven't listed here, be sure to comment and tell us what they are. I appreciate you listening to me today. The rain conspiracy continues. Just got through listening to Alexa, and she tells me it's going to rain more tonight and more tomorrow, and I don't know about the day after that. We might have to call a tractor out here to cut hay on my place. Y'all take care. This is P. Pwalpar saying we'll catch you later. Thanks for listening.